Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Copper Coins Coin Roll Hunt Reveal E200, a 1943P original wrapped roll, Batdorf style. How's everybody doing this afternoon? Looks like we've got Dan, Mickey, Richard here so far. And our giveaway is going to be 45. Hey, Frostbite, how are you? Let a couple more people in here get in here, and we will open this roll up, see what it looks like. Kind of excited. Tyler, how are you doing? And we're going to open it up right now. Gulf Coast Treasure Hunter, how you doing? Looks like some of the edges have a little bit of rust on them. Hopefully that is not a bad sign. Yeah, we got spots. We've got white on some of these coins. That looks pretty bad. We'll have to see as we go through. Sissy, how are you? We'll get this started. Anthony. Taco John. And the first coin looks pretty good, but it's an ender. Well, I guess I should get my scope up. Oh, that's fine, Jackalope. All right, we will see what we got with this. Nothing on the obverse. Some machine doubling on the reverse of this. Coin Junkie, how you doing? Coin number 2 goes to Carl. That one don't look bad at all. There's a couple coins that are not going to be pretty in this roll from what I see. And that was one of my concerns when I was deciding on to do this roll or not. What do we have here? Looks like there's some minor doubling in the R and E. Let me check that out and see if it matches anything that we have listed. All right, let me go back to over here. Don't see that on it. Nothing there, so we will go back to the now let's get a reverse here. If that's something that would be there, that's not there. So we will try. What I am seeing here, you can see it on the upper part of the R, on the loop, the loops of the B, and the top of the E. And let's see, go back. It's definitely not that one, but it could be this one. It's not that one, so we'll go back again. Could be this one. That one has some markers on it. And I don't see that. Let me check the reverse out here. So it's not that one. Let me go to Variety Vista and see what we got here now. That's the die crack I'm looking for. Let's see, 20. Don't see that. That one. Go to the reverse. Oh, it's not that one. Not that. Well, it's one that I'm going to have to hold out, I believe. Let's look and see if it's got any doubling on the O. Nope, just on the R, E, and B. And it's very light. So we got something. We'll take a peek at. Coin number 3 goes to Ant. See, and that's a very nice coin. Some of these coins are extremely nice, but I did see a couple that were extremely had that white corrosion on them. Die crack on the face. Yes, a lot of die flow on this. Yeah, this is a pretty nice coin right here. So hopefully the majority of them are like this, and there's only a couple of them that are growing. Coin number 4. Let me let my dog in here. Hurry up. No, you're not coming up here. Next coin is for Mickey, and his coin's a nice one. Hey, Otis Paula, welcome to the show. Find the sweet spot on my slide. nothing on the obverse. I guess it's amazing that this roll, being that it sat in somebody's dresser for 80 years for the most part, is as good as it is. All right, let me change this a little bit. Wanda, how you doing? Ant, welcome. Coin number 5 for Sissy. And there's one that has the white. That actually isn't terrible. That's actually a fingerprint. There are a lot of DDOs on the Date, Eyes, and Liberty. Reverse is mostly class 6 double dies, which are on E pluribus, the dots, and the wheat stalks. There is a couple that are on the inside of the O and C. The reverse has really got luster. It's messing with the camera. Nice. Nice. That's a roll I don't search a lot of. I've got quite a few of them. I should search a couple to 2017. Next coin is for Sireg. And so far, nada. We got one minor double die obverse. There seems to be a lot listed like that, but it had a pretty significant die crack on the shoulder. So it should be one that's identifiable if it's listed. Next coin is for Dan. Taco John, how are you doing today? I do go over these coins again with a loop. I usually don't miss too much, and I haven't missed anything in the last probably 10 rolls or so, which is a good thing. Yeah, I sure do. Let me get it out and get it good and focused. in the B, E, and R of Liberty. It's actually in the T also. Oh, which one did you find? No, there's no die clash. That was what I was looking for. And then it's got this die crack in the shoulder over VDB that I didn't recognize in any of the ones I looked at right away. I can go through again and check. Let's see. This one's just, that's definitely not it. This one's more significant. I know this isn't it, but I didn't look at this one last time. Nope, that's not it. Yeah, I think this one actually, does this cross with something? I think that actually crosses with something that I know of. Yeah, it's not in Copper Coins, and I don't see it in Variety Vista. But it is definitely a double die. Coin number 8 goes to Jackalope. Jackalope kit's a good one. I'm just worried about, I know I saw 2 or 3 that ain't gonna be pretty. Back out a little bit. I'm gonna back out some more. Reverse, I'm going to have to tilt to get more light in. So you're going to see me focusing a lot because I'm on an angle now. That could be doubling on the wheat there. Let me go down. I don't see it on the side, inside of the wheat. Yeah, I would say if this is, it's just not enough because there's no thickness up here to speak of. That's weird too, because usually the doubled stalk is on the outside of the stalk. Hey Carl, how you doing? You've got the only double die in the roll so far. Here's one for Frostbite. Going slower than I normally go on the memorials just because the scope is having a little bit of problems with me leaving the coin flat. Some of the coins are playing with the exposure. So that's got a little rust on the rim. The rims are not coated, and that's why they rust, and the coating, the zinc coating, does not. So if you see one with rusted rims, and this one does have rust on the rims, it's because that's just regular steel exposed to the air. Angie. All right, Jackalope. Next coin is for me. Oh yes, that's the best way in my opinion, because when they reprocess them, they cannot do it like they would do it in a whole unpunched sheet or unstamped sheet. I don't know what the correct term is when they strike the planchets or make the planchets. But that's always the first thing I tell people is look at the rim. But the story behind this scent roll was interesting. I bought it at a estate sale. I should have bought the nickels too. I bought one roll of nickels and I bought a roll of dimes and I bought this. See, this is the same one as that last one, and I don't think that's doubling. I think that's some sort of galling in the dye or something. It's there's three of them, so if it was a double dye, it would be a triple dye obverse. And just on that area, let me look at it with a loop. Heck, with a 10x loop, you can't even see it. Yeah, that's weird. I've never seen anything like that before. It's like way down, almost like master machine doubling. It's way down by the surface of the coin. I'll have that one to play around and look at. Chuck gets the next one. And Chuck gets one that's got a little bit of spotting on the back. That is zinc oxide. For those that are wondering what that is a clash right there. What year? There's a nice clash right there too. There's another clash. That is the top of his head. So pretty decent clash on this one. $16p. Oh, wow. Next coin is for Carl. That is machine doubling. Great example of it, actually. So you can see the rust on the outer edge of the rim. And a nothing coin. So one double die so far. I'm shocked. Usually if there's one, there's more. But yeah, the story behind this roll was I went to an estate sale, and the lady had 6 rolls of coins. She had a roll of circulated silver dimes, and 2 bank wrapped rolls. They were all from the same bank, or it is actually not even a bank. It was like a, well, here it was called. Let me see. It's in New York City, New York Instrument Company, Bank Supplies, and it was in Brooklyn. And its phone number was NE8 1384. It probably would. Some of these coins are pretty nice, and not all of them have the rusty rims. But the story behind this was they were her grandfather's, and he bought them during the war and stuck them in his drawer, and he basically never took them out. And when she was selling the house, it was the only coin-related stuff in the house was these 6 rolls of coins. I should have bought the nickels, the war nickels too, but they wanted them bad. Whoever bought them wanted them really bad. They bid probably 2 times what they were worth. This one's got the zinc oxide on the back. It's actually not terrible when you look at the coin. You can just see a little spot of haze. I have never played around with anything like mineral oil or anything like that to try to neutralize the oxide. But I probably wouldn't. I don't know. I just don't usually. I'm not sure. Being in the automotive field, there was a lot of zinc used. And people were never real fond of playing with it. I don't think you want to get it in like cuts and stuff like that. And you know, it is the chemical that they use to galvanize steel with. So basically these pennies aren't galvanized, but it's using the same chemicals they would use to galvanize. Yeah, it was a neat little story. And I was lucky. Like I said, I've opened 1 Batdorf roll in the last 25 years. I did have a mint bag of 43Ds. It was a $10 mint bag of 43Ds that got fed into a Coinstar. I think it did. I hope the kid was smart enough not to do that, but I don't know. Kids do strange things. But I never thought I would see another one again except on videos. It's not something you come across every day. And when I did come across it, I was like, I'm going to have that no matter what. And I did. It was pretty good money when I bought it back in, I think I bought it in 97. There was a coin dealer in Michigan that had I bought a lot of mint sewn bags from him. He had so many bagged coins. And he was always really neat when he got it. He knew I was collecting them, so when he would get stuff like that, I better look at the reverse too. He would always call. And like the bag he got with the 43s, they were in multiple bags, different size bags, which is interesting. He got a $50 bag and it had two $10 bags, $4 bags, and $2.50 bags inside of it from the bank, and because the bank didn't roll coins, and a store didn't buy a $25 box of change back in 1943. A five and dime might need $2.50 in pennies for the whole week. While there was a lot of banks that were rolling coins, there were tons that did not. Oh, for the guardrails. But you even see on galvanized, when those guardrails get old, they turn white. And I do believe they use arsenic or something. That's what makes the crystallized look. That would be probably missing on the zinc plating here. Coin number 18 already. Coin number 18 goes to Ant. We'll look at something here. That is different. I'm trying to look to see if I see that the same die without the doubling showing. Nope, different one. The die scratch is higher up on over VDB than the doubled die was. And you know what? That's very common. Buying a BU roll. A matter of fact, most dealers don't even sell them as BU anymore. There was a dealer at the fun show that probably had 35 rolls of 43D, and they had them labeled as AU just because they were all riddled with the white spotting. This is one issue that time is going to have collectors are going to have a hard time saving the raw coins. Eventually they are going to corrode away. Plating blisters, haven't seen that one yet. That's what those little bubbles are. Was the planchet had some sort of moisture, or could be oil? I would say moisture. It was probably done early, and when they put the plating on it, it doesn't stick. It bubbles up. It does. Like I said, there's been, for the majority of the coins, have been very nice out of the roll. But I know when I opened this roll up, I saw a couple of them that aren't going to be so nice. But we haven't hit any that have been really bad yet. One with a fingerprint and one with a dark spot. And this one's pretty good too. And so I'm not all that concerned about the roll being a dud. Seeing a lot of dies over and over again, which is good. All right, I gotta let the dog out. Come here, cat. You gotta go out too. You're a troublemaker. Come on, hey. Come on. Yeah. Yeah, the cat will want to get up here now that she woke up and search coins herself. So you see that in the scope. That actually does not show very well when you look at the coin in general. That one would show. I can see that under the light with my bare eye. But there's going to be one in here that it's going to look like it's got a teaspoon of baking soda on the top of it, it looks like. See, there's that same die again on the inside wheat lines. And when it doesn't show it well, but that is almost like machine doubling. I don't see any machine doubling anywhere else. But it is interesting. You know, I'm sure that some sort of lubricant would stop them from, but you got to be very careful with that because a lot of lubricant actually does go rancid and can cause its own separate issues. I don't know. I think the best way, if you want a really beautiful example, is to get one that's been well preserved in a slab. I'm not pro grading. I'm not a guy that says, oh, you know, you got to have graded coins. But for preservation purposes, and I was amazed to hear at the fun show, there was a guy that knew more about slabbed coins than anybody I had ever talked to before. And he says sometimes you have to have them re-slabbed because they will lose their integrity and the coin will start toning within the slab. He says, so that's part of owning a high-end collection too, is sometimes having your coin just reholdered. Yeah, like I say, I know, like, you could probably put a mineral oil on it, which is kind of a neutral oil, but it goes rancid. So that means it decays and starts, if it decays, that means it's making gas. It's basically fermenting. And that would include olive oil and stuff like that too. When you get into the petroleum products, I'm not sure. I've bought steel scents that have been soaked in some sort of petroleum, and it actually preserved them very well. But to get them where you can handle them, you have to clean them basically. And I'm not a big fan of that. So I guess it's, you know, well, there's that clash again. See if it goes down here. It does. There's the back of the head. There is no front of the head, but you can see the neck right there. And going down the front of the bust. That is exactly what I was told, is that about every 10 years you have to re-slab the coins. And it does make sense because all plastic allows oxygen to flow through it. And all oxidation is caused by oxygen. So now she's here. No, she knows how I feel about cleaning coins. I'm not a big cleaner, and I'm not advocating putting oil on the coins. But I do got to say that whoever did it, it preserved the coins pretty good. But the problem was, to handle the coins, I had to wash the oil off. Speaking of cleaning coins, I watched an interesting stream, and it was just a random stream. It's somebody I wasn't even subscribed to. There's another one of those with the inside of the wheats. About him sending coins in to be graded after he cleaned them with MS-70 acetone and then easy whatever, the dip stuff. Uh, and they all came back straight grade. The thing that kind of shocked me was when he says, "Oh, I cleaned these with MS-70, but I wanted to take soap to get it off. So I used soap to get the MS-70 off." And from a chemistry standpoint, MS-70 is just soap and a sheeting agent. And that's why it's never been frowned upon, is because you're not cleaning the coin. It's more washing dirt off the coin. You know, as long as you're not scrubbing and moving stuff. Yeah, it's got a couple of little spots. And this is that same die again. But I was shocked he didn't know that MS-70 is potassium hydroxide and soap is sodium hydroxide. No. Yeah, MS-70 is potassium hydroxide. And then it's got something in it to give it like a thickening agent. Begins with a B. It's like it's not glycol, but I think it's similar to like a glycol. EZS. That's the stuff that he was dipping the coins in. And ironically, all his coins came back straight grades, and the ones with the highest grades were the ones that were dipped. So he either was very good at dipping, or he just got lucky. Like he said, he didn't try to get coins that all looked alike. He just grabbed a bunch of coins, and they were all out of a bunch of proof sets that he had. You have a great day too, Angie. I've actually it was a good practice of lacquering coins back in the day too. In that, depending on how they lacquer them, I've seen this die many times too now, can be more of a pain in the butt than, you can try to soak them in acetone, and this is one of the ones that's pretty furry. Look at this. God, when you look at it, it don't look bad. That magnifier makes it look a lot worse than it is. Crispy. Yeah, he was doing it. He had a lot of subscribers, so he was doing it as an experiment. Like I say, grading a 61 proof coin in general is not something that I would do. I'm not total anti-grading. I have graded one coin in the last 2 years, but for the most part, I don't. With the distrust I have, there's that die again. That's actually a different die. With the distrust I have and knowing human nature a little bit, I just think that the only usefulness, in my opinion, is to have a valuable coin authenticated. There's one of the cheesy ones, and it goes to me, thank God. Like like on Facebook, I think it's in one of the groups you manage, somebody wanted to get a 1909 SVDB graded, and it looked like it might be in VF30. And everybody was saying, don't waste your money, don't do this, don't do that. And it's just like, that's like the first should I get it graded post that I was actually like, huh, I should get it. You should get it graded. I mean, I didn't even look at the coin that much, so I didn't even know if it was one of the 4 known die pairs for the date. But I think that's like an $1,800 coin. That deserves, I mean, that's what you wanted. That's what the grading services should be for, in my opinion. Not to grade a $12 coin. Not, you know, hell, a lot of people send in $2 coins to be graded. So it must be this specific spot in the roll. Actually, that looks pretty good there. I'm kind of fingering through these because some of these are a little bit cheesy. That one actually don't look bad when you look at it up front. Nope, the obverse looks pretty good. So does the reverse. So those milk spots are kind of like just what they are, is like milk spots, not the actual oxidation growths. See, right on the C, you can see a little bit of the fuzz starting to come up. So those might be something that you can, you know, play with. I don't advocate it. And I have never really seen anybody unless they were just like cleaning them because they couldn't actually see the surface of the coin. Now, I have seen somebody do that, and they did a great job, and we actually found varieties in the coins. But he wouldn't do it on BU coins. These were just like a bag of circulated 43s. So they were already to the edge of junk coins, just looking for varieties. I ended up finding a 43S RPM number 7 in that bag. Thinking about it, that was when we went to Brian Allen's house and he boiled some. He did, actually, he just boiled them. He might have put a teaspoon of baking soda or something in too. But basically, he was just trying to get that black gunk that cakes inside the letters in the mint mark. And it worked. Just boiling it worked. So looked like die 4. Yeah, I didn't pay any attention to it. I did know that it was one of the ones that was lower under the 9, but I didn't go any further. There was somebody trying to sell a 31S, I think in the same group, and that coin was fake. As far as I was concerned. I used to comment a lot in those pages, but I kind of bite my tongue unless it's a very specific question that I can give a very specific answer to. A matter of fact, in that group today, there was somebody arguing about a doubled die, 57D, that he's made 3 posts. Ooh. All right, Taco John, I'm going to give you a credit for this on next week's reveals. Because that one's a little tough to stomach. But look, that's a fingerprint that's growing. That's actually what's causing it to grow. You can see. Yeah. And then somebody made I think it was Rithy made the comment, something about double dies, and I almost commented back that the people that actually know what they are don't ask the question if they are or not, because they know they are. Unfortunately, it's a double-edged sword. The people that are asking don't know. But anybody who does know doesn't ask because they already know. Let me write a note here real quick. Also, on March 16th, Ida Herring is having an auction to benefit St. Jude. So if you have time, jump over there and register. I try to remember, I think that's the third time, but that's the first time I've given you the date. I think it starts like 11 in the morning. I think Paula can answer that. She would know. You know quite a bit, Frostbite, and you got the right attitude for it. Nobody knows everything. I learn every single day, and I can tell you, I put a lot of hours into this hobby. It's almost, well, it is. It's a full-time hobby. I do it basically in place of work, because it's what I have to do. I mean, I work on my house and this and that, but I'm retired, so. It is what I do. And I still learn stuff every single day. I learn tricks. I learn things to make things to identify easier. And I always, with an engineering background, I always work on my process. I always try to pick things out on coins that if I see it again, I know I'm looking at the same die pair, stuff like that. Coin 35 goes to Crispy. But St. Jude's is a wonderful cause. It's actually one of the few charities that I don't usually hesitate donating to. Like when somebody's collecting for it, I usually have no problem. I do have problems with charities that charge 40 or 50 or 60 or 70 or 80 or 90% of the money they bring in to pay for all their bills. To me, that's not a charity, it's a business. Now, I used to work for somebody before I worked at Ford that would donate and do like Toys for Tots and collect money, but 100% of the money he collected, he was just in business and made money and did that once a year. So and you know, Danny Thomas, when he founded that, it was at a time where they had just gotten over where charities were everywhere, and it was like World War II. The United Way was formed, so you pay one donation and you donate to all the charities. But then the United Way started just like all the other charities, and so it was, I think St. Jude is from the 50s. Same with the MDA. Those foundations started coming out after the United Way started changing the way they did business. You never quit learning, Tyler. There's the one with the die clash, back of the head. I love it. I feel like the other day, there's some machine doubling. I'm looking at a die pair. Matter of fact, Carl and you are both sending me a coin so I can see if it's the same die with a different obverse on it. And I worked for over 3 hours on that one coin and didn't come to a conclusion. And I'm talking to Brian Allen, and I told him, I says, man, I feel like Columbo, except I didn't break the case. Then there was another coin I was looking at too. I haven't got that one. didn't spend a lot of time in it because I was already going blind from looking at the microscope on a minor doubled die. Hey, 71 in pennies, baby. Thank you for joining. Coin 39 for Sarag. One double die so far. See, that's the one that looks kind of like it, but it's higher up on there. It is a different die. Tomorrow I got a 60D large date roll that I'll be doing right before the reveal show. Chip is 45. 45. Coin number 40 is for Roger. He gets a hairy one. This is the second one that's been pretty crusty. So I'm going to give Roger a credit. It's one thing to have a little haze, like those milk spots and stuff like that, but it's another thing to look like a battery that's leaking. Well, the reverse is nice on this one. That's the die that had that in the inside of the wheats. And that's why I always say I like multiples, especially on minor stuff. If I have 10 coins to look at when I'm attributing them, that helps immensely because this does not have that doubling. And that, so I'm thinking that could be machine doubling. And in just showing there, I have in later dates seen machine doublings like just show up on the mint mark and maybe on the little bit on the bust, especially like in the mid 80s. But that just shows you right there. That didn't show it. So that wasn't in the die. It was in from like the ejection or however you want to say it. You know, a lot of people say machine doubling, mechanical doubling, strike doubling, ejection doubling. They're all basically the same thing, and I think it's caused by a die shaking during the planchet being ejected. But I'm not totally specifically sure on that. That is just something that I'm guessing from my slight experience in tool and die. And I'm going to give Paul one too. This one's pretty furry. Coin 42 goes to Jordan. I look at that VDB every coin, looking for that same die crack. Seen that die a lot. $43, getting close to the giveaway. Next coin is for Sissy. I think I'm going to give Sissy a credit too, because not because her coin is super furry, but if I remember right, 2 out of her 3 coins were kind of funky. Next coin for Jackalope. Oh, this one looks okay. We're getting to the good stuff again. We'll know if the reverse throws the microscope off, and it did a little bit. Coin 45 and the winner of the $10 giveaway. $10 credit on your next reveals from me, of course. Me and Chuck do our reveals separately. And the winner is Ivan. Sheena Smith, how are you? This is the same die we just looked at. Recognize it. So a pretty good roll, all in all. What has that got? I might have to look at that under the loop. That looks like that could have a doubled eyelid, and that means there's a doubled eyelid sitting in the pile. I have seen this. Let me see if I can see it. Nope. Not an eyelid. It is a die scratch. Coin 46 is for Frostbite. This is a die we have not seen yet. This had a nice, strong die scratch. We've seen this die. I just didn't notice the die scratch before. This is the die with the nice die clash. Actually, this could be a different one because it looks like it's heavier than the last one. That's a really nice die clash, actually. That is something. I would probably even keep this one myself. That I have started keeping if they've got a very significant die clash. I never used to keep them. And that's just stuff that I've kind of evolved into keeping it. I think that's different. That's about the right length, but that one goes all the way to okay, let me look up here. All right, just had to make sure that's different because that die crack is very close, except it's higher up in the shoulder fold across the jacket on the doubled die. Big die crack here, goes all the way down by the 1. See, this is a different die. All the way to the C in cent. See if it starts up at the bottom or of the reverse. It doesn't. Lots of die cracks. This die was not long for this world after this coin. Coin 48 Goes to Carl. And I think we'll see what the reverse looks like. Let's see what this looks like without it. Yeah. And we're going to give Carl one too, because that one is not real good. This was another one of the reasons I struggled with doing this roll, was the fact that being a Batdorf roll, you just don't know what's inside. Judging by the end coins, they all looked pretty good. And there's our second copy of the doubled die right there. All right, and those die scratches, let me just double check that. Yep, they're the same. See if I can find another marker. Yep, that's it. So Taco John and Carl so far have gotten double dies. And I'll check reverse markers. If we can find a really good strong one, there's a pretty good set of die scratches right there. Yep, absolutely the same die pair. So that's weird. The second and the second to the last coin. What is the chance of that? So either way that I put it in the roll, it would have been coin number 2 and coin number 49. You can't make that stuff up. That could be a struck through right there. Maybe a fiber? There's the Batdorf signature right there. It leaves its signature on almost every roll it does. I do got a roll of dimes and nickels, 46p nickels and 46p dimes. I might do a reveal on them one day. But anyways, I want to thank everybody for coming. I was really looking forward to this, and it was really, really cool to do it. Hopefully we get to do another one for 300. But I want to thank you for joining me, and I will be on tomorrow at 5. I'll talk to you all later. Bye.